Hello everybody, welcome to this channel, The Art of Learning Botany. I am Dr. Nirupama Das, retired Associate Professor in Botany, Department of Higher Education, Government of Odisha. In the last video session, we have discussed abiotic pollinating agents. So today topic is biotic pollinating agents. These biotic pollinating agents are different organisms belonging to the animal kingdom, and this is called as zoophily, and the pollinating agents are called as pollinators. And there are different types of pollinators, and these are includes the insects, birds, and also the bats. And the insects are bees, butterflies, wasps, moth, beetles, flies, and birds like hummingbirds, sunbirds, bats, and also human beings like you. So, depending on the different types of pollinating agents, the pollination are named differently, and there are different types of terminology here. The entomophily is done by insect, and melitophily is by bees, and wasp shows hymenopterophily, moth phelenophily, butterfly psychophily, flies mycophily or sapromycophily, beetles cantharophily, ants myrmecophily, birds ornithophily, and other organisms bats chiropterophily, snails malacophily, and these type of pollinations are seen in different types of plants. That is, these bees melitophily is in salvia, wasp hymenopterophily is in orchids, and moth by in yucca. So like that, different flowering plants are pollinated by different pollinators. So coming to entomophily, and this is the pollination by insects. And there are different types of insects, mostly bees, butterfly, moth are useful to plant. And for this pollination, these are the insects which belongs to different insects belong to arthropoda groups, and they are the largest pollinators in the angiospermic plants. And the condition of the flowers which is suitable for entomophily, the flowers are very showy, peculiar in shape, very bright color, and having fragrance and produce nectar. They have some attractive features, and in their shape, pollens are sticky and spiny. Pollens may be in groups or sacs. When the insect sits on it, and the pollen stick to their body parts, and also sometimes in the to the mouth part, they are sucked by the mouth parts, and when they visit from one flower to other flower, they bring successful pollination. So let us coming to the is a type of entomophily, that is in salvia by bees, and this specifically it is called as melatophily. And here this flower is very peculiar in shape, and it is zygomorphic bi-leaved flower, and it has two stamens, and the stamens are having two lobes, and here two lobes are separated by a curved connective, and the upper part is fertile and lower part is sterile, and the sterile part of two stamens connected to form a pad-like structure. And whenever this bee enters to that flower and lands on that part, at that time this upper part turns down, and it touches the body of the surface of the bee, and it releases all the pollen grains, sticky pollen grains to that body parts. And this mechanism is just like a this liver type, and that's why this pollination in salvia is called as liver mechanism or turnpike mechanism. And when that bees with these pollen grains comes out that flower and visit another flower, at that time this stigma, you can see from the picture, the stigma tumbles down and touches the body of the bees, and it receives that pollen grains, and then it brings successful pollination. So this is called as the lever mechanism or turnpike mechanism. And you can see this in the picture also, the how that bee is entering to the into the flower to suck nectars. Then coming to another type of pollination, that is by orchids, in orchids and by wasps, and this is called as hymenopterophily. And here the wasps are insects, but the flower it attracted by these orchids flowers due to that particular shape. And here in orchids you will find the two-leaved bi-leaved flower, and the lower leaf is fused to form a labellum, and this labellum mimicries the shape of a female wasp, and it attracts the male wasp towards it by showing some visual or tactile clues. And when this male wasp enters to that labellum for a pseudo copulation, at that time the body of the wasp gets pollen grains. And when it visits to another flower, then this it brings successful pollination. So let us see the other types of pollination, which is by birds. And in this pollination, these birds generally brings pollination in the plants which are found in the subtropic or tropic or some dry region, and it is next to entomophily type. And these flowers have some adaptation, and they open in daytime. They have bright color to attract the birds, and various shape, tubular, cup-like or funnel shaped, and they produce more nectars, and these nectars are used as food by birds. Production of also more number of pollen grains, and mostly these flowers are odorless because the birds are not sensitive to odor. Then adaptation of birds, they are generally nectivorous, and the tongues are brushity with long bills, and the common example is sunbird, hummingbird, and this plant where you will find this ornithophyly are generally callistemon and also Nicotiana glauca. Then coming to this, the picture of hummingbird and sunbird, how they are attracted by the showy petals of the plants. Then coming to this pollination by birds, this is called as cheroterophily, and this pollination is by birds, and in this condition, this occurs in tropical and subtropical region, and in the plants the flowers are well adapted to this, and the flowers open at dusk or after dusk. They born singly or in cluster. They have very strong odor or smell. They produce nectar, and they are generally colorless or dull in color. And birds have also some adaptation. They like this odor, and they have very small ear and very prominent eye, and these birds very long muzzles, and also a long tongue. Birds transport pollens to long distance. They come to flower to drink nectar. Actually, they are carnivorous, but for supplement sugar diet, they move from one flower to other flower to drink nectar. Then pollen spheres stick to the body and the muscles and carry large amount of pollen grains. And example is in evening primrose, guava, and Adansonia species. Then coming to the other types of pollination, the ants, showing myrmecophily, and here it is found in succulent plants and also some euphorbia species. Then pollination by snails is called mycophily, and generally this is found in lemna and chrysanthemum species. Then reptiles, the lizards also help in pollination. The example is Phormium tenax. Then other mammals except bats are called therophili. That includes the rats, squirrels and lemurs. And coming to the other types of pollination, that is called as here you will find the to protect these pollinators is very essential, because there have been a co-evolution among the adaptation of flowers and the pollinators. That's why we have to love them, to save them and to protect them. Then coming to artificial pollination, this is generally done by man it is called as induced pollination. The aim and objective is to produce a particular trait in the offspring, to produce more number of more crops, and also to overcome the self incompatibility, and also it is very much used in plant breeding programs. And there are different methods of such type of pollination, artificial pollination, that is bird pollination. Birds pollinated to produce inbreed lines. Then mixed pollination for interspecific hybrid, and then for stop pollination, cutting stigma and style here is done. And then intra-ovarian pollination, pollination is directly introduced into the ovary. Then in here pollens are directly introduced to the ovary and pollination is achieved. Then in vitro ovule pollination, where ovule is cultured and pollination of ovules done directly with pollen. Then coming to these are the today's discussion that about the biotic agents or the pollinators and different types of pollination. Then coming to the self-check or self-assessment, we have some questions here. You read these questions and try to answer this question. Let us discuss these questions. Question number A. Fill up the blanks with most appropriate words. Pollination by birds is called dash. Pollination by birds is called ornithophily. Then second, malacophily is the pollination by dash. Malacophily is the pollination by snails. Then third question, lotus flower is pollinated by dash. Right answer is lotus flower is pollinated by insect, or more appropriately by beetles. Then fourth question, pollination by butterfly is called dash. Answer is pollination by butterfly is called psychophily. Then fifth question, pollination by non-flying mammals is known as dash. Pollination by non-flying mammals is known as therophily. Then question B, correct the statements without changing the underlying words if necessary. First question, birds involved in pollination are carnivorous. Then wrong, birds involved in pollination are nectivorous. Then second one, bats pollinate flowers which open in the afternoon. Bats pollinate the flowers which open at dusk or after dusk. Then third question, female wasps pollinate the orchids. Answer is male wasps pollinate the orchids. Then turnpike mechanism is seen in orchids. Turnpipe mechanism is seen in salvia. Then pollination by flies is called therophily. Pollination by non-flying mammals is therophily. The next question that give the reasons of the following questions. Why the flowers pollinated by bats have strong odor? Bats are natural creatures. They fly in dark. This strong odor helps them to attract birds because bats are liking for that odor. Second question, why birds helping in pollination have long bills? In this pollination, the flowers are tubular, funnel-shaped, and nectars are deep-seated. Therefore, to get the nectar, birds have long bills. Then question number 3, why male wasps only pollinates the orchid flower? Third question, because the labellum of the orchid flower give the mimicry of a female wasp, the female wasp thinks that another female wasp is sitting in the flower. The next fourth question, why most of the flowers pollinated by birds have no fragrance? Birds have very poor sense to smell, so it does not matter for them. They are attracted by the colors of the flower. Then 5. Why the entomophilous flower have sticky and spinous pollen? Instead carrying the pollens on their different body parts, therefore pollen must be sticky so that they will not fall. So today we have the discussion of these biotic pollinating agents, and already we have discussed that abiotic pollinating agents. So these are the question answer, and so I think you like it, share it and subscribe it, and thank you for watching.